Right, now this is my second video. My first video was very faltering, and this may not be much better. I'm sort of doing it off the cuff, just spontaneously. It's the way I sort of intend to do the whole thing. I'm not trying to be an expert. I'm not trying to impress people. So it's just to basically advertise an idea. The idea will either be successful or it won't. If it's successful, then it will sell itself. Obviously, I'm going to need some people to participate in the first instance. We'll see if I can drum up any interest on that. But basically the idea, in the first one I said I had an idea, didn't really give much by way of detail. So in this video I'll just explain the idea. The idea for me, as I've said, is, I make no bones about it, is to make money. I'm retired. Like everyone, I could do with a little bit more money. If I could make £100,000, that would be very nice for my retirement. But I suppose if I was to set myself a goal, I would say I'd like to cure 100 people of either diabetes or obesity. I sort of think I'd be concentrating mainly on diabetes, but it's effectively the same method for either. I'd like to cure 100 people and make £1 million from doing so. Now that's a lot of money. One of the features of my idea is that I deal with the person one-on-one. All of the evidence of the success or failure of it is put on here, YouTube, for you all to see. And as I say, it's basically, I will charge £10,000 to cure you. We have to sort out what cure means, and we have to sort out when the payment gets made and so on and so forth. It's all very, as I say, I've only got a broad idea of what I want to achieve. I haven't worked out the specifics. So the first person, if there is one, it will be very much, trial and error. We'll do it together. It's like a joint project where if it works out, I get £10,000 and you're an advertisement for my method. And, you obviously, if it does work out, you get cured. As I say, you obviously in titles, you have to keep things fairly simple. You can't go into, what cure means and so on. We all know diabetes is very difficult. I wouldn't be able to reverse damage that you've made to your body. Like if you might get an improvement in certain symptoms, but if there's damage that's done, it's not going to reverse certain damage. Like if you've got some eye damage, for example, or kidney or whatever, you might get a reduction in a lot of your symptoms, but the main idea is to not get worse, because virtually everyone gets worse. I have been in the past. I've had it for quite a number of years now. I think I know how to cure it. I've only really learned it over the last few months, and I sort of thought, well, is it something I can write a book about and give to the world, as it were? But as I say, this strikes me as more interesting, more fun from my point of view, less work. And, I'm interested to see, as much as anything, if the idea can work. So basically, the idea is that if people who have diabetes or obesity tune into my channel and are intrigued, that they might at least subscribe. Then I've got some people who will listen, and over time I need to sort of try and reveal a little bit more about the method. Not in detail, not about, that's what I'm selling for £10,000 is the information. So I won't be giving much away on that. I can say it is diet. It's not some mystical herb or something like that. It's just a diet, but one that works. You see, most diets don't. Now, there's loads of people out there who will tell you they've got the answer. And so that's the trouble. If there are one or two people who have the answer, or a answer, because there might be more than one, an answer, they get lost in amongst the noise. So I'm a little bit like a person, like a band that starts out and everyone's well, you know, out of 100, 99 of them won't last, won't go anywhere. There's one or two that may do better because the crowd like what they provide, and they go to prominence in that way. So in a sense, that's what my idea is about, is put my idea out there. It's not, as you can see, it's not good presentation. It's got no merits in terms of, you know, grabbing the audience like a lot of people try to do. It's going to be very organic from bottom up. Like, in a way, I wanted it to start, it couldn't be any worse, you know. Hopefully it gets better. That's why my first video was faltering. This one's maybe a bit of an improvement. That maybe this is as good as it gets, because I don't get any more fluent than this. But as I say, the idea, you see, if I can succeed in curing one person, and I do it, as it were, as a project on here, then maybe I get my second person. Then that maybe leads to the third. And by the time you've sort of had a few successes under your belt, with maybe the odd failure for whatever reason, people start to say, well, I wouldn't mind trying that. So you've got to have someone who's prepared to pay a lot of money to begin with. I would keep the price high for a long time, because I'm doing it for me, for my pension, and as an ambitious goal. But I do believe, obviously, that if I actually give you a cure for diabetes, I'm giving you something that will be, you know, of inestimable value. Now, I know most people can't afford the amount I'm charging, which I can't remember if I've even told you. It's £10,000. I think I have. But you see, there are some people that can easily pay that and take the chance and work with me on it. So I'm sort of looking for that sort of select group at the moment. But if, like, I cure 100 people who are wealthy enough to pay for that, then by then I'd have like a big audience probably, and then maybe I'd write a book, you know. So maybe one day it goes it gets introduced to the world. Other people see it, people who can't afford to pay £10,000. But you see, there again, if you don't subscribe, then you'll never know. If you subscribe, you can keep an eye on me. And if I do badly, and in a few months you think, well, that bloke promised the moon but it didn't deliver, oh well, nothing's lost. But if, you know, I do get some successes and it piques your interest and it picks up and I start to do well, you'll be in the right place for if I ever do write a book, and then I'll tell you, and then I'll reveal the method. And it would be worth doing them, because I'd have enough followers and people, I'd have the high enough profile to make the effort of writing a book worthwhile. So, you know, I'm not promising, because I might never, even if I got enough people, obviously if I'm getting 10,000 a time to cure people, it might be more sensible for me to just carry on doing that. So, I mean, there's no promises in this. But as I say, watch my journey if you're interested. I think that's the ideas, basically, anyway.